Ladies and gentlemen, Jackie Pretty Bull Justice!
Bruised shows the span of Halle Berry's range, in more ways than one.
And the director is?
I know, Halle Berry. Surreal. It's a surreal moment. A very surreal moment, actually.
Did you even think this moment was possible for
No.
you at this time?
No, and I think many women don't. We don't think it's possible to sort of take our destiny into our own hands this way. Or in my case, answer the call when destiny knocked, because it wasn't what I planned to do.
Berry did not plan to direct this film.
Mama, wait!
And at first, she wasn't even its leading lady. But she saw the role of Jackie Justice through a very different lens.
It wasn't even supposed to be for a woman of color.
No, it was for a white young woman in her early 20s.
You looked at that.
I said, no,
First,
no, no.
Blake Lively had
She had it, and I had to wait until she passed up on it. And in the time that I was waiting, I was reimagining what the story could be, should be, why I thought it would be more relevant if it were a middle-aged woman of color. And not a young woman who's being offered another chance, but a middle-aged woman who's being offered a last chance. The stakes felt so much higher when you're at that stage in life and you're really out of chances, and this is a do-or-die situation.
Berry envisioned how the film should be directed and searched for someone she thought might fit the bill. But all roads led back to her.
A friend of mine, Elaine Goldsmith-Thomas, called me and I said, Elaine, I can't find anybody. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And she said, you do it. You're so passionate about it. You know the story inside and out. I said, Elaine, I can't do that. This is a large role. I can't then get behind the camera for the first time and tell the story. She goes, that's your problem. Of course you can. I knew that the story had to have a female gaze and a female, storyteller.
Sensibility.
Yeah, all that stuff had to stay intact. I talked to several women, and not that they weren't great directors, but they didn't see what I saw in my head, and largely because it wasn't on the page yet.
But you saw it clearly.
I saw it clearly, and I thought I was expressing it clearly to them, but the problem was most of them liked one facet of it. Either let's just make it a straight fight movie, or let's make it a straight drama. And for me, it had to be both. It had to be both, because women only fight, I found, because of the drama and the trauma in their life. So I didn't think I could tell an authentic fight story without understanding why this woman was fighting, why she would get in the ring and participate in a blood sport.
Clean yourself, all right?
So I couldn't separate the two.
She couldn't separate the actress from the actual fighter either. The big blow left Berry with 2 broken ribs 2 days into shooting this scene.
I knew I'd broken something. I had broken 3 ribs on the movie before, John Wick.
So you knew the feeling.
I know what it felt like. But I also knew in that moment, because on John Wick, when I told them something was hurt, they shut down for 8 weeks. But that was
Wow.
John Wick. They could absorb a big shutdown like that. This little indie movie that I had to piece together and find the financing for, that which I had one day and didn't have the next day, I knew we couldn't absorb a shutdown. I would lose my money, I would probably lose Valentina, and I would never get back to this.
So Berry says she fought through the pain, and Bruised became the #1 movie on Netflix the week of its release. The streaming giant marked Berry's directorial debut with a special message.
I love this, Halle. Directed by Halle Berry. Love saying that. I love seeing that. So when you see it, what are you thinking? Looks like your eyes are watering up a little bit.
Well, that's not hard for me, Gayle. You know me. No, it means everything, you know? I never thought that would be me, you know? I never dared dream that big dream.
So now that you've got the directing down, what's next on your list?
I don't know. I'm just stuck in this moment right now, you know, basking in this, because life hasn't, there's valleys and peaks, and I'm on a peak right now.
On your birthday this past year on Instagram, you said, in the midst of the storm, I've managed to create happiness, find more peace, feel more free than ever. How have you been able to do that? Because you've been through a lot, Halle Berry.
I know.
Yeah.
I think finally all the pieces are coming together.
Yeah.
I've got my children, they're healthy, they're happy, finally. All of that domestic stuff is working itself out.
Yeah, good.
I just directed my first movie. I'm doing my career on my terms. I feel great about that I'm still here after 30 years.
And you have love in your life?
I have love in my life.
Which I have to say gives me hope.
It should.
How did you know that Van Hunt was the one for you? And I saw his name in the credits of this movie, too.
I know. He wrote and produced Automatic Woman,
Yeah, I
title
saw.
song. You know how I knew Gayle? For the first time, I approached a relationship in a way I never had before.
What is that? How?
We didn't meet each other face to face for 3 months. For the first 3 months, all we did was talk and write letters and emails to each other. That was it. No FaceTiming even, just talking on the phone, writing letters and emailing. And I realized for the first time, I liked the person I was gonna have a relationship with.
You're known, you know, there's no question about your beauty. I love the statistics of you were named one of the most beautiful women of the century. You were named one of People magazine's most beautiful women of all time. All of the accolades go to Halle Berry for as long as I can remember. And I've heard you say that beauty can be a blessing and a curse. I get the blessing part. Tell me how it's been a curse for you and how you navigate that.
What is a hard thing to say because most people are like, oh, sorry for you, Halle Berry.
No, I don't know.
But
I don't see it like that.
But it's been a box that has attempted to define me and limit me. And when I tell you, all I've longed for, Gayle, is for someone to say something to me other than, you're beautiful.
You're so pretty. Yeah.
I want to hear, you're talented, you're a great mother, I love what you did, which is one of the reasons facing this directorial challenge became something that I needed, like the air to breathe. I thought, finally, can I prove that I'm more than this shell that I'm walking around in, that I had nothing to do with. I came here this way.
Yeah.
I want credit for something that I did.
Yeah.
You know, that I created, that I'm responsible for.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that has felt like a curse because I've felt locked and limited by it and diminished by it. Let me finally be more than that in life.
You are so much more than that in life, Halle Berry. Your real name is Maria Halle Berry. But it's so nice to see when your personal and your professional life lines up at the same time and you're both really happy. And she got a little emotional at the end because I think she has felt that she's had to prove herself. She has to struggle. She said, by the way, she loves boxing. But she says that I'm a fighter. I've had to fight my whole life and I will continue to fight. And she's in such a good place and getting such accolades for this movie and her directorial debut. It's just good to see her so happy.
It said a lot when you were asking about the future, and she said, no, Gayle, this moment right now, I want to stay in.
Let me enjoy this
Speaking of her
moment.
being a fighter, she fought to prove she was much more than a pretty face.
Yes.
She has done that. Give her flowers. One of
Yes.
the most versatile talents in the business.
But that said, she is a pretty face. Her skin is like butterscotch. I want to take a spoon.
No.
Oh, God, you're so gorgeous.
I'll leave that
But
one
it's
alone.
bigger than that. It's
But
bigger
shout
than
out to Halle Berry.
Yeah,
in the
Nate
movie.
goes, I'll leave
All
that
right.
alone.